You know that feeling when you snag a budget range for a few $100s, only to discover the burners flicker, the oven takes forever to heat, and you end up spending twice as much on replacements? I've seen it happen so many times that I actually hesitate before even stepping into a showroom. That hesitation is what drives most of us to read every spec sheet, watch a dozen YouTube demos, and scroll through endless reviews before committing to a kitchen centerpiece. Link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon. So today I'm going to break down whether the ZLINE Autograph Edition 36-inch dual fuel range feels like a smarter buy or just another pricey gamble. First off, let's talk about the category itself. A dual fuel range combines a gas cooktop where you get instant heat control and an electric convection oven, which is praised for even baking. The idea is you get the best of both worlds, but the reality often hinges on how well the two systems integrate and how much daily hassle they add. In a typical home kitchen, you're juggling everything from searing a steak on a high-output burner to baking a batch of cookies that need steady temperature. If the range can keep those tasks separate yet harmonious, you've hit a sweet spot. If not, you end up with a kitchen that feels more like a science lab. The ZLINE Autograph Edition tries to hit that sweet spot with a few standout details. The 6 Italian-made gas burners come with Auto-Reignition, which means if a flame accidentally goes out, the system will light it again automatically. In practice, that's a safety net for the occasional moment you're distracted flipping a pan. I tested the high-output burner by searing a ribeye steak, and the flame responded instantly when I turned the knob from low to high. No lag, no spitfire that overshoots the heat. The dual-function burner, which can act as both a wok ring and a traditional flat-top burner, is another clever touch for people who like to diversify cooking styles without buying extra appliances. On the oven side, the electric convection unit promises faster preheating than industry standards. I ran a quick test with a preheat to 375 for a batch of chicken thighs. The oven hit the target in about 8 minutes, which is roughly 3 minutes quicker than my older 30-inch electric model. That saved time mattered when you're trying to coordinate multiple dishes. The landscape window, a wide rectangular glass panel, lets you peek inside without opening the door, a small convenience that cuts down on temperature loss during baking. Now, where the ZLINE starts to show its trade-offs is in the overall ergonomics and the price-to performance ratio. The range sits at 36 inches with a 5.2 cuffed oven, which is a generous volume for most families, but the exterior is finished in stainless steel with champagne bronze accents. That looks sleek, yet the brushed surface can show fingerprints and grease splatters more prominently than matte finishes. In a real-world kitchen where you're constantly cleaning, that could translate to more frequent wiping down, especially around the knobs and handles. Speaking of knobs, ZLINE opted for exclusive, larger diameter knobs that feel substantial, but they're not tactily distinct from one another. After a half hour of cooking, I found myself double-checking which knob controlled which burner, a minor annoyance for anyone who relies on muscle memory. Another practical concern is the installation footprint. The dual-fuel setup requires a gas line and a dedicated 240-volt circuit for the convection oven. If your kitchen wasn't pre-wired for gas, you'll need a professional plumber and electrician, which can add a few $100s to the total cost. For a homeowner who already has a gas line, that's not a big deal, but for renters or those doing a quick remodel, the hidden expense can turn what looks like a smart purchase into a budget breaker. So who should actually consider the ZLINE Autograph Edition? If you're an avid home chef who values precise flame control for sautéing, stir-frying, or flam, the Italian-made burners give you that level of responsiveness that cheaper gas ranges often lack. If you also bake regularly and need an oven that reaches temperature quickly and maintains even heat for pastries, the convection feature adds genuine value. The range shines for households that entertain, often think weekend BBQs followed by a dessert baked in the same evening because the separate fuel sources let you run multiple cooking processes without fighting for heat. Conversely, if you're a casual cook who mainly uses the stovetop for boiling water and reheating leftovers, the dual-fuel complexity might be overkill. Those who are sensitive to kitchen aesthetics and want a low-maintenance exterior might prefer a more subdued finish. And if you're on a tight budget, the need for both gas and electric hookups could push the total investment beyond what a single fuel range would cost. In those scenarios, a solid 5-burner gas range or a straightforward electric convection oven could deliver comparable everyday results with fewer installation headaches. Let's talk about durability and long-term satisfaction, which is often where the rating of 3 out of 5 stars comes into play. The core components: burners, oven cavity, and convection.